of War is a masterpiece. But it's also, hey dad, why are we punching a dragon? Hey dad, why am I coughing blood? Hey dad, why am I getting stabbed? You know, normal childhood stuff. Because when you actually look at this game through Atreus' perspective, it stops being a touching tale about grief and becomes a tragically hilarious comedy where deep-seated traumas are but the tip of the iceberg. And for you to understand this, let me put you in his shoes. Imagine you're Atreus, basically cursed a cowardly dog if he was human. You don't have any friends, you live in the middle of fucking nowhere, and the only people you know are your parents. Scratch that, it's your mother. Your dad is emotionally absent. Not so bad, right? Boom! Psych! Your mom is dead! Rip it in soul, boy! So your mother is dead. And now you're stuck with a stranger, aka your father, aka the man who can carry trees like you pick up napkins, aka the god of avoiding hard discussions. Of course, you're doing everything in your power not to cry. But after a funeral, your dad is like, boy, you know how to hunt? Because obviously you barely talk, so he knows nothing about you. Fun fact, the game took inspiration from your own personal life. So you go out hunting. Obviously you're super nervous, so you fuck it up. And your dad snaps at you. You tell him, I'm sorry that, but it's not over until I win. Sing when I sing for the... And you banana fudging deliver. You catch the deer. But you're just a child, easily swayed by anything that has an opinion. Or a couple of these. So when your baby eyes observe the most majestic deer ever, you tell your dad you don't want to kill it. So what does your dad do? A, comfort you. B, kill the deer for you. C, let the animal go. Trick question, the answer's always D. He grabs your hand and slowly pushes your blade into the deer. Blood gushes out in the left face from the deer's eye. Oh my god. Remember, you are 10 at this point, and you just killed something. Oh no, deep trauma setting in. Oh. Then randomly, a fucking troll shows up. You get ready to fight. But you remember, you barely managed to not fuck up the hunting. You're not ready to fight no Eren Yeager monster. And if you think that's bad, just wait. Because things are going to get a whole lot worse.
Oh, no.
So you're nervous. You ask your dad if he's gonna fight that. And he says, we got no choice, boy. You're like, bitch, where? There's like 15 ways to escape. At the very least, you should be able to buy me a few seconds to escape. Okay, but you managed to kill the troll. But because you're freaking 10, and you killed not once, but twice in the last 10 minutes, you can't process your emotions very well. You become one of those roid-fueled gym bros with the creatine and the seeing red and the slashing and cutting. Absolutely normal reaction considering the situation. But the game takes inspiration from real life. And just like your dad, Kratos says, fuck, you're not ready, boy. Okay, maybe not those exact words, but basically some version of I'm disappointed in you. Because the game takes real life inspiration. I'm sorry, Dad, I'm trying. So you go home and start thinking to yourself, fuck, I just killed a monster. I'm the most majestic deer ever. And my dad's still not proud of me? What does it take to please this dude? Perfect! Enough for a single day, a stranger comes knocking at your door. Your dad tells you to hide. But because again, you're 10 years old, unbeknownst to you, the most insane battle is taking place outside. And the only clues about what's going on is noise. Remember, this is Kratos and Boulder. Literally two gods throwing hands. So from your perspective, you just hear... And in your head, you're like, I'm done. My dad is done. But even though you never believed in a higher power, you still fall to your knees and go... Then your dad opens the door with zero warning, giving you a mild heart attack. On Titan, oh my god, it freaking sucks! You might think that's a lot, but this is where things are starting to get very, very disturbing. So you go on a quest to fulfill your mom's dying wishes. To scatter her ashes from the highest peak. The equivalent of climbing Mount Everest in our world. Remember, you are still 10. Easy. A little hikey. How hard can it be? Boom, you're attacked by cannibals. Boom, you barely made it out. You end up crying. In a comforting moment, your dad grabs you by the head, looks directly into your eyes, and tells you, stop being a little bitch. But do you have time to process that? Of course not. Remember the cannibals? They're back as magical zombies. My boys really pulled up some of the wings flair, if you know what I mean. You go, girl. But you pull out a Rick Grimes and survive. So you decide to target practice a bit and manage to hit a boar. You start feeling good about yourself, except a witch shows up and guilt trips you into feeling bad about attacking her friend. I guess that's what you get for insubordination. Then the witch uses her magic and tries to treat the boar, but you're too worried to process anything of what's going on. You try to help by getting some herbs, but your dad is all like, hey, you drop your mother's knife. You're super relieved because your dad found it. But psych, he also guilt trips you into feeling bad because you lost it. So you resign yourself as a poopy head. The only thing you can do is be a translator. That's right, you're the Duolingo of Nordic lands, making sense of the random signs people leave. You're the omelette du fromage, if you catch my drift. Then the biggest freaking being in the entire world shows up. It's massive, thick, veiny, gushing. Hey, at least it's friendly. So you continue your journey, you meet a new friend, and you run into the blackest poop fart you have ever seen. Obviously, you can't cross, and it's the only path forward. The only solution? Traveling to other worlds through magic, so you decide to go with the elves. You gather this weird magical light, only to find out they're having a civil war between the light and the dark elves. Weird. Where have I seen this before? So you almost die a couple more times, but you manage to read the weirdest light. You don't know what to do, so your dad decides to go inside and get sold by the light. You wait for hours. A lot of the elves attack, and I do mean a lot of the dark elves attack you. During the attack, something just snaps. Something inside you. You don't care anymore. It's just you against the dark elves. And then it happened. You go on the most violent, merciless, and insane murder spree that would ironically make your old dad proud. And this isn't a quick battle. This goes on for a while. So you get pissed and decide to pull your dad out of the light. But does he say thank you? Nah. He yells at you because he's the god of avoiding hard conversations. But in that moment, you're a freaking monster. You've killed dozens of these elves by yourself. Dahmer would approve. So you finally snap back at your dad. He's ready to argue, but even he is impressed by the pile of rotting dead bodies you've left behind. You're still 10. Oh, also you start coughing. That will be important later. Grief, death, and everything else starts to take their toll between you and your dad. And then a dragon shows up and it breathes fire and it's like super scary, but your dad locks in and kills it. Whew. Too bad for the dragon. He won't be able to tell his tale. His dragon tail.
Dragon tales, dragon tales. It's almost time for dragon tales.
So, you finally make it to the top of the tallest peak in all the realms, only to overhear that the little sons of freaking Thor are looking for your ass. You're a minor. But you don't care, your journey's coming to an end. But that's when the fastest man alive, the smartest man alive tells you that the highest peak is in another freaking world. Psst, but that couldn't be what your mom meant. Right? So you chop off the dude's head and carry on my wayward son. And with the help of that random witch you met a few hours back, you revive the smartest man in life's head. And he's barely been in you 1 freaking second and he's already dropping crazy lore. That witch? Actually Freya. Odin's password? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that crusty sock in your drawer is actually safe. But you don't have time to process that. You got a mountain to climb. Unfortunately for you, Thor's sons finds you and want a piece of that juicy underage ass.
Yeah, boy.
With no say in the matter, you square up to battle literal gods, but you are a human child. There's no way you can win, but you still go Power Ranger the bitch. And somehow, you actually managed to kill one of them. But remember that mysterious cough I mentioned earlier? The one I said would be important? Turns out you got magical Ebola, dude! And it's so bad, you fall unconscious. But you do manage to overhear that the only way to save you is if your dad literally goes to hell and gets some dude's heart. Okay? Because why the hell not? And then you get healed. You feel so guilty about messing up the quest you end up apologizing. But your dad doesn't tell you it's okay. He doubles down and tells you to not let it happen again. Like, bitch, you can't control your Ebola. But you still feel really bad about it. And just to add insult to injury, you also manage to overhear your dad say that you're cursed. Yeesh. I know we're all disappointments, but to actually say it, I gotta hurt. But your dad doesn't want you to get magical Ebola again. So he decides to drop on you some more insane lore. That you are a god. This is like the equivalent of like finding your grandpa's old Nazi medals. Like things just got real. Of course, you're a little shithead because you're still fucking 10 years old. So you start lashing out for no reason against Sports Sindri, that guy who literally makes your magic gear for free. Class act, Atreus. Then you run into the son of Thor again. Not that one, the other one. Don't worry, he's about to join his brother. Geneva Convention? More like Geneva Suggestion. Because at this point, you've become a little psychopathic. And you will kill without remorse. Child service is allowed. Do something about this. If that wasn't bad enough, Baldur, the random stranger, returns to beat your father's ass. Remember, you think you're the shit. You think you can take him, so you charge him. Your father, for one, gives you solid advice and tells you that you're not ready. So you shoot him. Father of the year meets son of the decade. But Baldur is still there, so he takes your knives, stabs you with it, takes you hostage, and runs away. But your dad dad saves you. Obviously, because he's contractually obligated to that until like God of War 6. Unfortunately, you still get teleported into hell. Crazy, huh? So you get yelled at some more, escape hell, and then go into the bowels of the biggest being in the world. Because who doesn't like the smell of vomit and poo? Let me ratatouille this. And finally, Baldur comes back again. So you lock in and beat the living lights out of Baldur with the most insane dad song combo in the world. Of course, Baldur doesn't care. So you watch him attack Freya, who saved your life from magical Ebola and is a friend at this point, and Baldur's just like strangling her. You're like, what the fuck? So your dad steps in and snaps the guy's neck, cause why the fuck not? Talking about sticking your nose and stuff that's none of your business. It's not like this is going to lead to a whole bunch of problems down the line. Shit. But you still have to complete your mom's mission, so you go to the tallest peak. Oh my god, this game is amazing, you should totally buy it. And it's there where you find some random mural with depictions of everything you just did in your journey. Turns out, you're half giant, because being a god isn't enough. But who the hell cares, right? So you throw your mom's ashes, and mission accomplished. Sure, you might be a little traumatized, targeted by killer gods, and still 10 years old. But hey, don't think about it too much. And if you want to watch another wacky video, click the video above. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good luck not dying on the sequel.